1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hello, internet world. This is Norma Joe. I have to be quiet because my dad is home now, and I don't want him busting in on me and demanding my attention and being like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I have to cut this off, or I just have to fucking film it and leave it all in. Okay, the reason I'm back is because I realized when I was proof watching my double feature review that I literally just made a second ago, like, there was a bunch of shit that I wanted to say that I just totally forgot. That's what happens when you work with no script. So now I have a couple notes, so I'm just gonna read them off and discuss them. Okay, first of all, for Sinister, I forgot to talk about some themes I liked. So basically, like I was saying, basically the only character you've got is Ellison, and the whole fucking movie revolves around his stupid ass. So I like how they show you his world and how they show you he's a, like, you remember that meme where it's like, show me X without showing me X, you know? It's like, this is like, tell me you're shut in without telling me you're shut in, basically. It's like, he wears this fucking pajama sweater for pretty much the entire length of the movie. He never gets out of his goddamn sweater, which is funny because I went on a couple of horrible dates with this asshole one time who I was telling my mom about, and like, this dude was like, he was like bitching and moaning at one point about how he always wears this like gray sweatshirt and how I should be trying to hold him accountable and tell him not to wear the gray sweatshirt because it's a crutch or some stupid fucking bullshit like that. But anyway, that's what this made me think of, because yeah, this dude is wearing this dweeby ass sweater in like pretty much every scene. And the other thing is that he never leaves the house. Like, you see him in the front yard and the backyard. He goes in the backyard just to look at the tree where everybody died, and he goes in the front yard because he hears sounds. Like, he goes out there to get his son, and then, you know, there's a dog and stuff. And then at the end, he goes outside because he's driving the car. Oh, and he goes out in the front to burn all the film reels and all that shit. But you don't see him exercising. You don't see him cooking dinner. You don't see him going to the store. You don't see him taking a walk. You don't see him doing fucking anything other than obsessing about these damn films, pretty much. He's in pajamas like the whole fucking movie, pretty much. And he hardly leaves his office or like the attic, you know? So I like that because, like I said, the script is tight. The script, like, every moment of this movie seems to serve the plot. And I think that goes along with that. Like, yeah, why would you show, like, normal daily routine, like, you know, why would you show superfluous things that don't have to do with this scary story? But like I said, it's also double serves as like character building, because you can tell this character, he doesn't get out. He doesn't have a life, you know? And it's funny because in the scene where he's, like, screaming with his wife, which I thought is actually pretty good, because even though I made fun of the fact that he screeches like a fucking, like, 14-year-old, like, drama queen, and that he achieves a tone that I've heard, like, my sister do, like, many years ago when she was having temper tantrums and shit. But at the same time, that was a good scene because I like the, like, juxtaposition how at first his wife is, like, giving him shit. Like, she's, like, giving him the damn business, and he's in this corner, like, and everything about how he's in this corner, like, in, like, a shadow. And he's just, like, all down like this, and you just feel, like, the shame, you know? Like, she's like, did you do this? And he's just like, yeah. She's like, did you do that? And he's like, yeah. But then, after she's, like, putting him up against the wall like that, he basically, like, he's like, okay, enough of shaming me, and then he like lashes out at her. So I liked that. And then I thought it was interesting blocking for the scene, how the way they move around the room, like as they're fighting, like they move around and they like sit on different things and stuff. And then at the very end, she goes and sits in the same exact corner where he was at in the beginning when he was being shamed. So essentially now she's taking the defensive position, but she doesn't feel any shame. Like you can tell, like when she's on the defensive, she feels like she's winning. Like and she takes that spot like in the little shadow in the corner, and she's just like still giving him the business. She's like just telling him like, yeah, you fucked up and this is all like a bunch of bullshit and whatever she said. I don't remember the exact words she says, but she's not like being cornered like in that same, like when she takes that same spot that he was in previously, she's not like being cornered like he was at first. Like she's like getting ready to drop the mic basically. So I just thought that was interesting, because especially since the sound was off like during that part, like that's why I like watching movies without sound, because it makes me pay attention more to like what everyone's body is doing, and where they are, and the storytelling is being conveyed through movement and action and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, the other thing is that his wife and the boyfriend both comment on the fact that he's drinking a lot, which is funny because he doesn't waste any time. He sees that first film, and the first thing he does is like, okay, time to get the booze flowing, and stuff. And but I'm happy with them that like it's interesting because even this is what I mean by the movie being like pretty adult, is that like, okay, normally with this supernatural movie, like haunted house movies, like, or cursed film movies, you think there's always usually a part where like the main character, who's like the only one to experience the paranormal, is like trying to convince like everybody else, and everybody else is just like, fuck you, you're crazy, like you're imagining, like you're drinking too much, it's just a dream, like I don't remember if that was in here or not, but I don't think so, because I don't think it ever really gets to a point where he's trying to convince the other people of the supernatural and they don't believe him. I think it stays more just like everybody is accusing him of caring about like writing the book too much, the book that he's trying to write. Like they don't really argue about the supernatural, because yeah, you would think that like when the mom is mad because both the kids start like drawing pictures of like the murders and stuff like that, you would think that he'd be like, well, I didn't tell them that, it was a ghost, like it was a ghost, and she'd be like, fuck you, you're crazy, but it doesn't really come to that. Like I thought that was interesting. They don't really argue about the supernatural. They just argue about like, hey, you're not paying enough attention to like what's right for your family, your kids, and all that stuff. And what else? Also, I didn't hear anybody recommend medication, which I'm happy about. Like I said, like I feel like that's more of an early 2000s thing, and not that drugs aren't, like I said in my other video, like not that drugs aren't still like super super popular and everything, but either number one, people are just so used to them being around by now you don't have to really say it, or number two is not being pushed as heavily. I think maybe a mix of the two, but I was impressed the fact that they're like accusing the dad of like being a drunk basically, and he always lashes back like that. He's like, you saying I'm drunk? And they're like, well, not really, but yeah, like they but they just but nobody said anything about going on drugs. Nobody said anything about talking to a shrink or being committed or anything like that. So the movie stays pretty down to earth, which I think is a plus. And Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I'm probably gonna think of more shit as soon as I turn this off, but well, you can't have it all. Okay, back to Tiffany the Doll. Okay, so the things I forgot about to say in Tiffany the Doll is that the thing about how I was saying, like, how the dolls are kind of like cell phones or some computer type stuff, like, or just or just it's just the way that people's lives, like, they allow their lives to change as new things get popular, and the way that people reason it to be like, oh, it's not weird, it's fine, you know. So it's like the part where, oh my god, the part where they're having brunch, like the group of friends just having brunch, and there's this guy who's, like, I guess trying to be the boyfriend of the, like, sexually proud girl, and he's like trying to be like, I don't know, he's just trying to pitch himself, like, oh, I can be a good boyfriend to you, and then she's like saying some stuff about, oh yeah, these dolls are awesome, you know, and stuff, and everybody's just kind of like, you know, you really want to love a doll that much? And she's just like, oh, whatever. And he's like, well, shit, like, with all these perks, like, you don't even need a woman anymore. And she's like, you don't need a man anymore either, because they also have male dolls, you know, and stuff. And then the thing that people keep repeating over and over is like, well, it's not cheating, like, you can have, like, you can still be with your boyfriend and girlfriend, and you can have a doll that both of you play with together, and, you know, like, so they're just constantly, like, justifying it, you know. They're saying, like, well, there's nothing wrong here, it's not like we're hurting anybody, it's not like we're it's not even like we're going against norms, really, like, we're not putting our all into the doll, we're not, like, passing up, like, or not breaking up with our significant others just to be with the doll, you know. Basically, it's like, hey, we're just using this responsibly, you know. So I thought that was interesting how, yeah, they say things like that many times in the movie to, like, be like, hey, there's no downside to this, but obviously there is, because the dolls are killing people. But like, I just thought that was interesting, because, like I said, it's a pretty good allegory, I think, for just technology, like, becoming omnipresent, you know, basically. And yeah, and also, like, surveillance things too, probably, like ring cams, you know, like, how many ring cams you see? Like, a lot. Especially, I mean, when I was doing delivery, I'm about to do delivery again, you see ring cams, like, all the time. And you know, home surveillance systems are becoming more common. And you know, I don't know, all that computer stuff, Alexa, you know, now smart cars are apparently coming. What about AI, you know, like, all this stuff I've been seeing lately about, like, oh, look at you know, try out this AI, you know, you can just put in a prompt, the AI will, like, make an artwork for you, it will write an essay for you, it will do a letter for you, it will imitate somebody's voice, essentially do anything. So, you know, just like the doll, you know. It's just that they make it funny by being, like, funny and also very, like, normal every day, because it's like, since the doll is a sex doll and its intention is, like, to pleasure you, it's like, okay, who doesn't want to be pleasured, you know, like. So they get you like that, but, like, obviously in real life it's not just about that, it's also, like, making your work more efficient, and, you know, saving you time, and making things more secure, and guarding your house or guarding your computer, you know, all the little shit, like, you know what I'm saying. Okay, the other thing is that, well, I'll do the shorter one first. The funny thing is that if you look up Tiffany the Doll online, it gives you all these results for Chucky, like, Bride of Chucky, because I guess, I've never seen any of the Chucky movies, but I guess Chucky's bride's name is Tiffany in the movie. So since this is called Tiffany the Doll, you get a bunch of Bride of Chucky shit that you have to sift through. But the other thing is that, which I didn't get to finish my thought of because some demons over here were scratching my back, not in a good way, that, okay, the main, I think I'm gonna call her the main girl because she seems to have the most scenes and everything, But the one who has this boyfriend, they live together, but it seems like the boyfriend is never around. And then near the end, the Tiffany doll just comes to their house, and of course, both of them think the other one bought it because they know they didn't buy it, you know. So they're just like, oh, why you got a Tiffany doll? No, you got one. But you know that they don't realize that till later. It just shows up in the house. So apparently the boyfriend, he's never around. He's always saying like, oh, I had to stay late. I had so many meetings today and everything. And the girl is so thirsty. Like, she's constantly saying how she just wants to have sex with him, and you know, she wants this and that and everything, and he's just like, every single night, the movie does a good job of showing her frustration, because every single night they show this scene play out like at least 5 times, I think, where it's like, you know, she says how she wants him, and he's just like, I'm too tired. So he really does say that like every single night. And then but my response to that is just like, okay, if I had a boyfriend and I was as thirsty as this girl, I mean, maybe it's because the way that they have sex, the way that they're accustomed to it, is like putting in a lot of effort or something. But to me, I'm like, okay, if my boyfriend was tired every single night, I would just be like, okay, dude, like, hey, why don't you go take a shower, put on, you know, get in bed, and like, I'll just get in bed with you and like wrap myself around you and like massage you until you fall asleep. How's he gonna say no to that? Because it includes him falling asleep if he's tired. You know, like, you would think that maybe they could do something like that, you know? Like, okay, let's get in bed together, and I'll, like, you know, yeah, we can just, like, cuddle, and then, you know, you cuddle front to front, and, you know, you can at least rub yourselves together, even if he's so exhausted that he can't get it up. At least you can, like, be close. I don't know. I'm ace, so I don't know how sex works, but just seems like, okay, it doesn't have to be like a big affair. You can just kind of like snuggle, and then at least you can be close. At least you can hold your boyfriend and, like, you know, be like up against him and stuff. That's gotta at least satisfy something, right? And then, I don't know. Anyways, it just seemed like maybe they could work something out, even if he is tired all the time. Like, I don't see why sex has to include him, like, being, like, energetic and at the top of his game and, like, doing all this crazy shit for her entertainment. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know how sex works. So, I think that's everything I wanted to say. It's another damn 20 minutes. Okay, every movie review I do is gonna be an hour, I guess. So, okay, bye.